Okay, so once you've both placed the Panopto external learning tool in your pilot course and you've installed the Panopto for Windows recording software, you can now begin recording your lectures. So first, we'll click in the external learning tool, and just as we did for installation, we will click the green Create button and choose to record a new session. This time, we will launch Panopto, or yours might say Open or Open Panopto. You'll click that, and if you're in Chrome, you might get a pop-up asking for confirmation if you want to open the Panopto recorder. If you are in Firefox, let's say, when you click the green Create button, record a new session, and hit Launch Panopto, you might get this little pop-up window asking you to confirm that you want to open the link. You also have the choice to remember to open the Panopto links when you hit Launch Panopto. Or if you're using Edge, you'll get a pop-up asking if you're sure that you want to switch apps from Microsoft Edge to Panopto Recorder. You'll hit yes for that. I'm going to go back to Chrome though, and either way, once you've agreed to those pop-ups, it should pass in your pilot login information into the Panopto app. This is what you see. If you don't see this, then you might just have to go down to where this green kind of recycling looking icon is and click that to bring up the recording software. So this is by default the recording software for Windows. The first thing I'd like to draw your attention to is up here where it shows folder and name under session settings. For folder, you can see it's telling me which course folder I'm in. So I'm in Fall 2019, General Education 1050, Section 1. It's really important to take note of this before you begin recording because you'll have access to multiple folders for uploading. You're going to have a personal folder called My Folder, and for each external learning tool you put in each of your courses, it's going to give you a different folder. It's very easy to overlook this, do a recording, upload it, and then not be able to find it because you put it in the wrong folder. So before you even begin recording the lecture, make sure you are in the correct folder. And you can modify that if you click this drop-down box, or if you just go back to Pilot to where you meant to record, go to the correct course and section, and launch the recorder again. Here for name, this just gives you a timestamp by default. You can name it here, what your recording will be. So in this case, I'll say Week 2, Lecture 3, Part A. But you can rename it afterwards. The next thing you want to pay attention to is your primary sources, and that's this window here. By default, you might see a web camera showing a picture of yourself right here. You can change that if you have multiple sources. So if you have a document camera, for example, which is what I'm seeing right here, you would be able to choose that as your primary source if you want to do some writing on a document camera, or if you want to record imagery of yourself, you can do that with a web camera. If you're recording from home and uploading from home, though, I would highly recommend changing the video source from a web camera to none. And the reason why I recommend that is because upload speeds at home are very restrictive compared to campus. So if you're on campus and you're uploading, then you can record multiple sources, and that's not a big issue. But from home, it's going to take a long time to upload, and there's more of a chance for an internet disruption where it loses track of what it was uploading and you have to re-upload from the beginning. So I generally recommend, if uploading from home, to leave this set to none and to just set it to capture your screen. For this demonstration, I am going to enable the video camera because I want you to see what the player looks like when it has multiple video sources. Okay, audio is the most important setting for this. So I've got it set to this particular microphone, and you'll know that it's working when you see these green LED meters jumping up and down. That's important. If you have this set to none for video, those green LED meters are going to be displayed horizontally rather than vertically. You can see here that the green response is going about 1/3 of the way to about 1/2. That's good. That's what I want. If it's going a little bit into the yellow, that's not a big deal. If it's going into the red, you're going to want to either move this slider down so that your volume input is not as loud, or you're going to want to sit back further away from your microphone. If it's going into the red, that means it's clipping and it's going to sound distorted, which is very annoying to listen to as a student. So make sure that you're just mostly in the green if you can for your microphone. If you're not seeing any response, that means it's probably not recognizing the correct microphone, so you may need to make a change here. If you're having issues selecting the correct microphone, you might need to contact CATS for some hardware support to make sure that you're getting your voice recorded through the microphone input. Quality, this is generally fine. This is more for the video setting. Standard more or less always works. I've only had to change it to ultra or high in cases where the camera's in a classroom and it's pretty far back and the writing is on a whiteboard and it's very small handwriting. So generally standard is okay, but do some testing if you are using video and see what quality works for you before you start doing any lecture recording. Capture computer audio. What that does is it records any audio coming from the computer. So if you play a video in your presentation, something from YouTube, it will record that. It will also record if you have your email up and you get some ding notifications, it will record that. That's all computer audio. Again, I generally recommend leaving this unchecked. If you do use YouTube videos or any other videos, then you can actually put those in the Panopto web editor. You can drop those links in, or you could just put the links in Pilot and refer students to that. It's a lot more efficient than recording the videos playing on your screen, and the quality will look better. So I'd recommend not showing videos and to leave this unchecked. For secondary sources, capture PowerPoint. If you want to record a PowerPoint, then you'll want to check that. What this does is it will, if you have titles for your text boxes for each slide, it will import it as a table of contents. So I recommend doing that. And then I also recommend capturing main screen. So if you only use a PowerPoint, you can probably get away with just capturing PowerPoint. It creates a smaller file. It uploads more quickly. But most instructors I know at some point will venture outside of the PowerPoint. So you may want to show something in Pilot or bring up another website, or maybe you're showing something with software. But if you're showing anything outside of the PowerPoint, even the animations in the PowerPoint don't get captured with this. So if you are drawing or annotating on slides, that will not get captured unless you choose Capture Main Screen. So for most presentations, leaving these two checked is the best solution. You can also add other video sources, but again, that's more for if you have the luxury of uploading from campus, because upload limitations are so restricted. Okay, so I have everything set up as I want it. Now before I hit record, what I want to do is I want to gather all of my resources I'm going to need. So I'll go into Pilot here, and I'm going to download the documents I need. So I have a presentation, PowerPoint. I'm going to download that to the computer. I'm going to choose to download my syllabus that I'm going to go over. And I can see those are downloading here. And then I also want to visit a website. So I'm going to show a website for my presentation. And I want to pull that up and have it ready before I hit record. You'll also want to open your files. Just get everything ready to present all before you hit record. So I'm going to hit OK, enable editing, and then I will pull up the syllabus Word document here. Okay, so I've got all my materials all ready to go. Now I'm going to pull up Panopto and hit record. Now I generally recommend until you see the timer start elapsing. Here, I can see it's now recording, and I'm ready to go into my presentation. So it's recording. I'll minimize this window. Again, don't close it. You just want to minimize it and get it out of the way. And then you just go into your presentation. So I'll go into slideshow mode here. And I'm presenting my week 1 slides. So I'll navigate through this. For each one of these titles here, you can see week 1 overview. These will be imported as chapter markers. So I'm just talking about course objectives, syllabus information, and now I can give an example of a course objective. So I'm hoping you'll learn to use Panopto for Windows recording software, not for Mac, and differentiate between the external learning tool and the recording software. So I can jump out of here and jump to my syllabus, highlight what I'm talking about, and then I can navigate to the website. And if you are curious about more Panopto resources, you can go to the Resources tab. You will see tutorials down here in the main body. You also see it over here in this side navigation. I'll go to Tutorials. And right here, you'll find multiple Panopto tutorials available. Okay, so I'm finished with my recording. I'll pull up the Panopto recorder again so I can hit stop. Yeah, and I guess just for good measure, I'll show that my camera's still recording here. When I hit the stop button, it's going to ask for confirmation to upload this video. So here, I get another opportunity to rename it. I am actually doing a week 1, so I will change this title. I'll just call it Lecture 1. Week 1, Lecture 1, Part A. And then if I didn't like it, I can choose to delete and record again, and then I'll hit Done. One thing before I hit Done I want to bring attention to is we were in this Create New Recording section the whole time. When I hit the Done button, it's going to take me to the Manage Recording section, so it's a different screen. I'll hit Done, and now what it's showing me is my upload progress. So the upload progress is the time it takes to go from your computer, all that recorded data, uploaded to Panopto's servers. So that can take a little bit of time. Once it's done uploading, it will then move to the conversion process, or it's called processing. So it basically will convert all that data into a streamable video format for web browsers. And again, I'm here in the Manage Recordings section, so it's showing me what I just recorded, showing me the status of it. I can jump back here to Create New Recording, though, recording interface. So I'll close this for now. It's uploaded, so I don't have to keep this open. That's the most important thing, is leaving this open while it's uploading. I can close this once it gets back to processing. And I'll navigate back to Pilot so we can see what this will look like in the Panopto external learning tool. So here it's grayed out, but I am seeing a placeholder for my video. When it's grayed out, that means it's still in processing mode. But once it is fully converted, you will see it turns into a clickable blue hyperlink. It processes multiple formats, but once the main web browser format is processed, you can click it and watch it even while it's processing smaller files. So I will click this, and again, this is how students would access your videos. And it will pull up a new tab with my video player here. So I can see I have both my video up here, and this looks bad because the lighting is bad in this room that I'm recording in. But this will be much more legible if you have your room lights on. Here you can see I have both videos playing at the same time. If I want, I can switch between the two. So I can have my primary source over here and my secondary source over here. If I want to go full screen on either one of these, there's a button for that. So I can just click this. So now I'm looking at just one of the sources in the full screen. If I want to get out, I can click here, and I am out of the full screen mode. You'll see my table of contents to the left. So if I click on week 1, it will take me to 29 seconds into the recording where I have the week 1 slide. If I click in example of a course objective, it takes me immediately to the beginning of that slide where it's 1 minute and 33 seconds into the recording. This table of contents only populates if you recorded with a PowerPoint. If you didn't and you're just recording your screen, this will not populate automatically, but you can go into the editor and manually input this information. I can close out of here, and you'll see it updates by putting the most recent lecture or recording up at the top of this folder. I generally recommend keeping your recordings to 20 minutes or less. That makes it easier both on the students to be able to digest smaller amounts of information, but also it makes for smaller files to upload from your home. You don't really want to upload a 1-hour recording if you're able to avoid that. So it's nice to divide up your lectures into smaller components.